What's going on? We're here with another High School Never Ends Goes YouTube, and as you can see, we have a very exciting guest with us tonight.
Yes, we do. And hey, Steve, it's been a while since we've chatted with this individual, and sir, I think you've been very busy since last time we talked. So, without further ado, let me introduce you, Mr. Adam Lohrbach. Super to have you back on with us at High School Never Ends. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I honestly I appreciate all the support and you guys have given me over the last, couple months. I gosh, beyond that even. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and I might have made a faux pas here. I wore the shirt of the band I'm going to see when I'm going to that concert. I don't know if that's cool or not, but I just wanted to rock my my Radical shirt here.
Hey, to be honest with you, I was wearing my own merch today. I got like a new merch line in and I was rocking it all day. I was like, I'll take it off for the thing.
It would have been okay. So
Yeah.
the last time that you joined us here, we talked for like an hour and a half, and we went through everything homegrown, right? Because we're big homegrown fans. We love homegrown. It was super cool. You were super gracious. You kind of went through album by album. You told us your favorite songs. That was fun. But I think this time you got a brand new project. I already spilled beans on the name, of course, Radical. So I thought maybe if that's cool with you, let's talk about the new project.
Yeah. I mean, Radical was never intentional. I'd say it was more kind of a therapeutic outlet for, frankly, a pretty dark time. When I hit about 41 years old, I started to get pretty reflective on my life, where I'd been, where I was at, where I thought I'd be, and for whatever reason, it just turned dark and I just got real frustrated with myself. Ways that I'd navigated, sort of maneuvered through life, excuses I made for myself, all of that kind of stuff, looking back in your childhood lenses, how you handled conflict, for me especially. And I just sort of unraveled. And the Radical was, it really just started out as poetry. It was what became lyrics. I didn't know at the time. But somehow in that sort of journey backwards, going back to that sound, kind of the pop punk, sort of punk rock roots, I can't tell you when those two things came together, but as soon as I sort of made that connection in my mind, it was like songs were written instantly. I mean, I can think of one song that was written in probably less than 5 minutes. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
I think that you hear this. You hear this saying a lot. He's still got it, right? You hear that. I hear that a lot. But I'll tell you what, Adam. I don't think you've ever lost it. I listen to these songs. So there's two songs out currently right now, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And so the one, Misfit Toys, and the other one, Middle Age Masterpiece, which both of them are outstanding songs.
Thank you.
I listened to both of these songs probably 100 times. Like, that may not be an understatement, because I just enjoyed them so much, especially Middle Age Masterpiece, because I connect with that one so much. Just love the lyrics. It just fits where I'm at right now in my life too. And on top of that, the music, the sound, it's a really cool, unique sound. So really kudos to you for being able to, continue to put these types of songs together and be able to output that type of content, just like you never missed a beat.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's been very sweet. And honestly, the reception back sort of into that punk rock, pop punk world has been way more than I could have, anticipated. Honestly, it's just a lot of fun. It's just trying to keep up with connections and, trying to keep it fresh and stuff. All while, I have 3 kids and, full, kind of like everyone else, right? Full time at this stage in life, you're working, you're doing things. So this isn't my everything. It's an and on top of an already busy tons of ands.
Sure.
So, but I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. So thank you for that.
Sure.
And so Radical started off as, you said it's kind of you writing down, started off as poetry, turned into lyrics. I'm sure that, the music kind of followed there. But this began as a total solo project, right? And has evolved into a full band, right?
Yeah. In fact, we had a rehearsal just like a couple days ago with Russell, Anthony, and Taylor, and it was pretty awesome, man. It was like, this is how you want to have your first rehearsal. I mean, I can't boast on them enough. Like, cause I was able to send out like all the stems to them. And I have this app that lets them mix the stems however they want, so they can we can all sort of rehearse at home or practice at home. So at that point, we kind of came in with our first rehearsal, and it was like, go. Like, we did the first song. Like, I think we started Middle-Aged Masterpiece, and it was like, well, that's pretty well set. Okay, let's do it a couple more times. I mean, it was really like, I mean, shout out to them, for their, their musical talent, obviously, in the homework they did. But when we came together, it was pretty effortless. We're gonna rehearse 2 more times before the first show, and just to sort of tighten up, think of transitions, think of cool, like, the only live moments where you do like little vamps and things like that. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So let me ask you, why did you go with these songs as the initial 2 off the upcoming album? Let's say, was there a specific reason for the choices?
Yeah, I'd say the first one, the first one really sort of lays out the feeling of the journey that I started on. This whole idea of like the island of misfit toys. It's almost like you feel like you're on the outs, but everyone's kind of on the ends, and they've awoken to something, or they sort of get it, and you feel like, man, I don't quite get it, and I feel like I don't belong in a sense, but I want to, but on my own terms. And so it just kind of overwhelmingly stuck. And so that song sort of evolves into the kind of like where I sort of ended up. So I felt like it sort of painted a good picture of kind of the whole journey. Middle-Aged Masterpiece almost has sort of that same lyrical start here, like the melancholy to, no, this is where I'm at, and actually my life is more significant than I think, like, to actually for my kids and my family and their future, right? And I definitely chose Middle-Aged Masterpiece because I'm like, I feel like that could really resonate with people who used to know me, like in Homegrown and stuff too. Kind of has that never fall in love sort of vibe, sort of some of that Kings of Pop vibe. So it's like, I mean, I love that fast beat too. There's a few more songs like that on the record, but I felt like that one would make a lot of sense for people like, oh, Adam's doing this again. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I can recognize that sound,
I feel like each time a new song comes out, I'm like, I've kind of heard that a little bit because you've done these little snippets here and there
Yeah.
on like your Instagram stories. So
Yeah.
I try and remember them, and then it like clicks back and you share the lyrics. So if anybody who's watching, follow Adam on Instagram and Radical on Instagram, and he posts a lot of cool stuff about the making of this album. So maybe there'll be more. And now there's like drum tutorials and bass tutorials and all that cool stuff.
Yeah, thank you. It was, I mean, gosh, this record was done over a year ago, I think. So like you said, if you're following earlier, before I even had a Radical Instagram, that was only started, 3 months ago or something like that. Before then, it was just me just posting stories constant. Like, that was just my thing. I just kept posting stories, and I'm like, oh, I should probably make a highlight. So I just want to kind of bring people along the journey of like actually writing the record. So I don't really advertise that much, but if you go to my Instagram, like my Adam account, you can see some of the journey of it. But I didn't put most of it up. That was just kind of sort of a moment in time for people.
Cool. I think what Chris and I thought would be a good idea for this evening would be to kind of have a fun like watch along for us and for anybody watching, where I thought it'd be cool if we watched Misfit Toys. We watched this video is really cool. It's heartfelt. The song is fantastic. So maybe let's watch it together. And with the magic of Zoom here, we can watch it together. And we might have a couple questions. Yeah, we'll you can paint back the veil. I like the robot head in the back there. That's pretty cool.
I kind of had to do it. I knew we were coming on, so I was like, come on, we gotta see that. This
I love
one
it
too. These things are genius. These are made by Frank's wife. She was the costume. Sort of the costume. She did so much. Gosh. But like this is the one that my son, which if we're gonna watch the video, that it's my middle child actually, who of course all my kids, there's a resemblance of me, but for whatever reason, my son Wyatt, his mannerisms and even like his personality, how it's sort of showcasing early in life, it reminds me a lot of how I was with a kid. So that's probably why, as we'll see in the video, it probably didn't come out totally in one of the scenes, but oh my gosh, there's like a bunch of people with a camera just standing around watching me just bawl my eyes out for 15 minutes.
I could imagine, right? Hey,
Ah,
before we start, do you want to talk about? I'm just curious. What is that camera that you wear? So we'll see it when we look at the video. But do you want to kind of talk about what that is specifically behind you?
should I bring it to the foreground or leave it
Yeah, we,
there?
it's up to
You can
you.
see.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. Uh, yeah, I mean you'll see in the video, like that was a concept I had early on, and really kind of fleshed out with Frank from at Revolver Creative and his team. But that kind of represents. I'm an island misfit toys. That's like I'm the misfit, sort of on the inside, kind of looking out, like out of this space that isn't quite belonging to everything around that it sees. And you'll see kind of in the video how it sort of pans in and out of the environment inside. It's almost like it's like my soul, in a sense. It's my psyche. Everything is sort of going on inside here while I'm sort of viewing the world around me. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, this stuff was made with. They went to like different swap meets. They went to thrift stores. They got all kinds of used computer parts, and it took them a ton of time to put this thing together. So shout out to them for all the hard work they did to put this video
Very cool.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's check this out. Hopefully this
do it.
this looks okay with like a shared screen on the recording here. I think
Sure.
that you guys can see this okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Beached upon a shore, like a hopeful corpse, waiting for a rescue, hoping to be seen. Oh, but tragically, the times they chose a different course. But I'll keep holding my breath. Oh, I'm not finished yet. The sun is rising from the storm. I've been living on an island of misfit toys, not by choice. I've been living in the shadows of a sleeping giant, unalive. Wake me up to myself. Wake me up to myself. God, I need your help. Wake me up. Wake up.
So Adam, let me ask you: could you explain to us a little bit about the chorus? Can you break down like the lyrics behind that?
Yeah, sure. I've been so if you've seen, I wish I could remember. I guess it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
In fact, if you do a YouTube search on the song, you might see some like clips of the Island of Misfit Toys. It was kind of a stop motion sort of thing, which I'm a huge fan of stop motion stuff, Burton stuff, all that, and but it's sort of a tribute to that sort of feeling. If you watch that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, there's this special island called the Island of Misfit Toys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where all the toys that aren't really made properly go. They all kind of get shipped off and sent to this, I don't know, it's like a toy purgatory or something, but they don't really get to be with the, they get to be unwrapped for the kids because they're just not quite right. So the lyrics is, I've been living on an island of misfit toys, not by choice. I've been living in the shadows of a sleeping giant, unalive. And that's kind of me sort of looking at myself. And even in my childhood, so many things, it's almost like I was on an autopilot, right? Like as a kid, you find coping mechanisms, ways you see the world, and almost that for me, it just kind of felt the safest way to approach it, but not really totally probably living or speaking up as much as I would have liked to. And so in that sense, it's like as a kid, you don't know. And so I was on this island, but not by choice. It's just, that's where I found myself. Living in the shadows of a sleeping giant. That was like who I could be, but I just living in the shadows of it. I couldn't, step in the light in a sense. Unalive, wake me up to myself. God, I need your help. Wake me up, wake me up. I needed some kind of awakening that just wasn't happening. There was something where I needed to understand who I was. You know, and I'm a religious man too, so you know, it's almost like a cry out like, God, like help me figure this thing out, you know. So honestly, it's just sort of a desperate. I need something's got to change. Something's got to change. So
Cool. Dude, thanks
Yeah.
for that.
Yes.
Sorry I interrupted.
no, I interrupt a few times.
Hey,
If there's
real-
like pop, 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 hit a moment, like ask, please.
Real quick before you start it back up again. So
Sure.
really, really cool visual too, with your solo shots in that room. Really curious though, like, so the solo shots, you with the guitar playing. Did you have any input? Did you put that together? The way that room ended up looking, you know, kind of like the messy look, but it was messy on purpose. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that took a long time to set up. That was in my parents' garage, which obviously meaning there too, right? It's my parents, and but it was taking like all kinds of memorabilia from like my parents' attic, from my house, like rummaging through everything. It was many trips to the thrift store to find all kinds of like of that era type stuff, right? Like the camcorders and cassette tapes. Yeah, I mean, we had to empty out the entire garage, and then we probably spent a good 3 hours making that beautiful mess. You know,
Came out cool.
yeah.
It was
Thank
cool,
you.
yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Let's go back in.
Yeah.
Helpless to escape this unwelcome fate. I rise restless to thee, but to my surprise, not unlike Jonah's eyes, I see there's much more here I stay. So I'll keep holding my breath. I know that I'm not finished yet. I'm still so insecure. I've been living on an island of misfit toys, not by choice. I've been living in the shadows of a sleeping giant, unalive. Wake me up to myself. Wake me up to myself. Wake me to myself. I'll never give up, never give up, okay. I'll never give up, never give up, okay. Get me out of here, get me out of my head. I'll never give up, never give up, okay. I'll never give up, never give up, okay. Get me out of here, get me out of this head.
All right, so right here, this is like the pinnacle of this video here, and I'd like to hear kind of your thoughts on it. I don't know exactly what everybody can see while that video is on. Sorry, I just took away the share.
Oh, that's okay.
I couldn't see you
That's okay.
guys, so I'm still figuring this
that's
out.
all right.
But talk me through this scene here. So your robot Adam is kind of lost in the world, like
Yeah.
just about to hit like power down. I assume that
Yep.
power down is a metaphor. I'm about to just say goodbye, and
Yep.
and then you see another. While I watched it the first time, the whole time I thought it was kind of a surprise to me that it ended up being your son. I didn't realize at first it was supposed to be a reflection of you, but then watching it a bunch of times, so then you find another robot person, and it's your son, and you guys do this reveal. Give me a little behind the scenes on what this is saying.
I will try. I haven't seen the video in a while, so it's yeah, it's I'm a little choked up about it. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, that when having a family, you realize, for at least for me, I was like, there's just so much more at stake, even for like your mental health, right? Like, it's not just that I have issues or I have, and I have depression and stuff like that. It's not that it was just my world being taken down, but it was also like my wife's, right? It was friends around me who are like trying to rally and be there for me. Um, and it's my kids feeling like the distance of their dad and stuff. And so, like, they were a part, like my family was a part of my like resilience and like actually stepping back out of the valley, right? And so, like, my son, you know taking off his like mask, it's almost like saying like, oh shoot, that he's not going to live like that. I can see that, I can see like the things that I went through, and I can make sure that if I see those things like in my kids, that I can redirect, or that I can call out things in them that I see that are like amazing. And it's not to say my parents were incredible. I love my parents, but like, I don't know, I just have like a lens for like what that is to see things in people and like draw it out or whatever. And especially my family, and they're so close, and I'm raising them, like I'm the one influencing them, like for better, for worse, right? Like, I just want to call out all the amazing things in my kids, and honestly, that calls it out of me. It like causes me to like sort of rise up and go, no man, there's so much more at stake than just me and what I'm doing. Like, I want to be the best like father, best husband, and I want to be more of an inspiration for others to like step up and out of the shadows of their own giants. So yeah, sorry.
No, thank you for that.
It's
No, you're
heavy.
good.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
It is.
And I can tell you that in that moment, all of that you just said, it's funny because I have a son, and not that it matters if you have a son or a daughter. It's it's the same feeling. But I felt all the things that you just said when I watched that moment, and that was real. So you did a great job, and that wasn't obviously just a video or just acting. Like, that was real, and you could feel that. So I just wanted to let you know that because it was there.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we should move on before I lose it.
All right,
Gotcha.
we're gonna finish this.
I'm just kidding. No, you guys run the show, man. You do whatever you need to do.
It's all good. Here we go.
All good, man.
I'm all-
All right. I think when we end that right there, whoops. I think that scene at the end. Sorry about that. Again, technology. I love that beach scene because I don't personally know your friends and family, but I can tell that those are your friends and your family. And the added like weirdness of the past year and people getting together or not getting together and being able to like get around that campfire. And this came out, not all that long ago. I don't know, just watching it kind of felt like a really nice relief or an escape. And yeah,
right on.
And now, at this point in time, things are definitely progressing, and vaccines, all that nonsense. But seeing that beach scene with like friends and family was really sweet, and I love watching it.
Oh, right on. Yeah, those are really, really close friends of mine that were pretty acquainted with where I was, and making sure they're there for me. So I asked them, hey, could you guys come be a part of this? And of course, they're like, yeah, we're in. What do you need? So
Was there a reason why you decided to have that wrap the video, that scene specifically?
Yeah, it's like the video started at the beach, and it's sort of a return to that moment, but right now it's almost like that entire thing has been redeemed. Like now it's in the present, doing well, because of, kind of coming out of that, having a lot of support, and now sort of re-engaging and re-owning this moment. Like, the present isn't, it's not a train wreck, it's like, no, I've got a lot of support and I got a lot of love, and this is where life is now, and this is where it begins.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love that video. So there's, that was the first single, Middle Age Masterpiece right after that, album on the way. Do you have any details on other videos or time frame on the album?
Well, it's all a little bit up in the air, right? Like I have a plan. So, like I have a few nights that I get out, I work on social media, connections, things like that. And I try and keep sort of a calendar, like a bi-monthly type thing of what I'm doing. So I have some sort of pathway. But I don't know if next I'm going to do another single or if I'm just going to drop the album. And I would like to do a video for it, but I've got to find a way to come up with another $3,000 if I want to work with the same director. So uh, I'm still processing like that, like how I would fundraise, how I'd go about doing that. I don't know. That's how I'd like to. Like, let's say if I drop the full length, it'd be great to do another, high quality video because we've already got the treatment. We've talked about it and stuff. I just have a little bit of a financial barrier right now. So, but that's kind of the plan. And just to start playing live, going to be playing live this summer, connecting, local places and maybe branch out a little bit, like my sort of tri-state area, just get some of those shows under the belt.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is what's the scope of touring? Is that something that you would consider doing outside of just that tri-state area or?
So it's interesting, right? Like it's kind of a band. It's more of like a project. And I got some incredible friends who they have lives of their own, very successful and love what they do. And so, I did the tour life for 10 years and,
Sure.
And now I have a family, right? So actually going out, like back in the homegrown days, right? It was 10 months a year and that's, kind of making ends meet and stuff. And that's just not an option for me. So, and neither for them. So it'd probably look like if we go out farther type things, it'd probably have to be, take a few weeks off of work, whatever, strategically plan. And sure, I'd love to get out to like New Jersey, get out to Florida, like different places that, I know have a great like scene, and sort of hit that up. But right now I'm just sort of trying to focus on, making sure I sound decent live, making sure people are engaging with the music and trying to make as many connections as I can online. So it's hard. It's like I said, it's another thing, but I'm very passionate about it. But you also have to embrace your limitations, right? So
Sure.
yeah.
Well, you definitely have tickets sold in the state of Pennsylvania and or New Jersey and or New York.
No question.
So wink, wink. Take a weekend flight out here. It'll be all good.
How about you guys? We can revise street teams. I don't know if people still do street teams, but you guys can be street team for me on the East Coast.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll run the
I'll send
MySpace account.
Yes, yeah. I'll get Friendster. I'll start talking to my friends on AOL Messenger. We'll figure something out.
I love it. I love it. For sure. That's what we do.
That's right. No, it's very cool that, hey, look, it's something you love to do, right? And we know that, and you said that, and being able to balance that with everything else you have going on in your life, including, and most importantly, the family. That's something special, right? I think that you're able to do what you love and still lead the life that you want to. So that's awesome. I had to ask the question to kind of see, what the
Sure.
intention was, because you never know. I mean, maybe you would have told me, no, I want to go on a world tour and this is my plans, but and that would have been fine too. But but all good, man.
I'd love to make it out there at some point. I mean, that'd be pretty special.
Well, you're just supposed to say, hey, boys, come to Southern California and see me here. And we'll be like, okay, let's do it.
Is it really that easy?
Well, maybe. We'll get there. We're trying.
You guys come out, free tickets, man. You guys come out, free tickets and free merch. How's that? I'll sweeten the deal for you.
I saw that.
We want to support.
I saw that OC sellout show, which is a little plug for you. I think it's sold out, but that one I think is May 22nd, I believe it is.
May 22nd.
Yes, your first live show. Saw that date come out. There were a couple of text messages. Hey, it's my wife's birthday is the May 25th, so that vicinity of time is not going to work. But you know what? I mean, it's not to say it could never work. We'll get over there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
A lot of fun. Well, cool. I don't know. Anything else that you want to say about either the video or the album or the songs that we discussed today, Adam?
Uh, Probably nothing more than just thank you to you guys, obviously, for your support and continued support. It means a lot. Honestly, that's the driving force behind it, is moments like these and connections online too. You know, I'm very active on Instagram, getting more on YouTube too. But uh, what I love the most is just those deeper connections. You know, the direct messages that come in and they're just fun, like, you know, rehashing old memories, good laughs, sometimes deeper conversations about people's struggles, things like that. And, you know, that I hold very near and dear to my heart, and obviously confidential too. But I just like making the connection. So I'm here. I'll say I'm a guy who's kind of been through it and sort of come out of it. And if you're going through it and not quite out of it and you need someone to talk to, like, I'll do my best, you know, to be available.
Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, Adam, again, thank you for being on the show. It felt like it's been so long since last we talked to you, so that's probably too long. It's always a pleasure. Love to chat with you, man. Love what you're doing out there, and we look forward to hearing more.
Awesome, man. Likewise. We'll do this again for sure. Do this again.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
You
You write that down, Steve? No.
You don't have to write it down.
Alrighty, and for all of you guys out there that are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit like and you hit subscribe down below. I wanted to say down below because I've never said that before. If you enjoyed it, and also we have a bunch of merch and also links to all of our other stuff that we have going on, our social medias, our show that you can catch on all of the different ways you listen to podcasts. Just check out hsnepod.com. It'll be a one-stop shop for all of that stuff combined. Guys, Steve, you want to bring us home? Wrap it up?
Adam, it's been awesome chatting with you. Thank you for walking us through that video. It's fantastic. It's emotional, and this was a lot of fun. We'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right.